Hello. We are going to do some Bible study because that's what the most important thing is. And I'm sorry, we're doing all this out of my vehicle. I'm traveling across the United States, being led by the Spirit how I can and when I can, and just trying to preach His word, preach His name. And I'm also on the run from my hometown, just kind of how Jesus spoke about not being welcomed in his hometown, and he couldn't even do miracles there, and he was God. And he talked about shaking the dust off your feet. It's kind of where I am right now. And after a lifetime of like pain, health issues, and just warfare and really high level education and working as hard as I can, it's kind of all just kind of snowballed, so to speak, and I'm in a different place, and I'm trying to survive and make money and let the Lord provide and go to church and worship and pray, and let's get into it. All right. Where does the Lord want to take us? Matthew. Okay. So this is the first gospel. Not necessarily from an age standpoint. A good amount of scholars will tell you that Mark is probably the earliest gospel, but who cares? It's Matthew. The Gospel of Matthew. Matthew is a tax collector, and he wrote this letter. He started off with the genealogy of Jesus. That's who you guys keep hearing about. He was a Nazarite, or he's from Israel about 2,000 years ago, and he came and he healed a bunch of people, and he made divine claims, and he rebuked leaders, and very polarizing figure. And all of this is documented, by the way. Like, we have it stored in libraries and in storehouses and safes across the globe of historical and eyewitness testimony, kind of similar to how we know the Titanic sank. Archaeological, historical, eyewitness testimony. Like, we know this is a fact. I mean, you can get on AI, ChatGPT, Perplexity, Google, whatever you want to do, and it will tell you, the computer online will tell you that, yes, the majority of even atheist scholars agree that Jesus existed and was crucified. Like, we have it in the Jewish and Roman records of Josephus. Like, this is not non-historical. So the first thing Matthew does is tell the genealogy of Jesus, like where he came from. So a lot of Romans did that. Germans are very good at ancestry, but Jews especially on their mother's line, they will trace lineage better than anybody you've ever seen. And that sounds like a bold statement, but just I'd say more as a culture. As a culture, they're very skilled in doing this, and they've been doing it for a long time, and they survived. They're still here. And so it starts out with like, what? Okay, so 14, 28, that's 42 people before Jesus. It starts off, Abraham fathered Isaac. Isaac fathered Jacob. And it goes on like that, proving that Jesus Christ was a real person. Like, he had lineage, he had fathers, like real people that existed before him. Kings like Hezekiah, Amos, Josiah, these are written in the annals of history. Like, we know these people existed. Just like, who is that guy? Attila the Hun. Like, just some, like, we know he existed. Or Caesar. Like, these people, like, we know they existed. We use the historical scientific method and science labs and libraries, and we can prove that these people existed. And it leads all the way up to Jesus. About 32 AD, he became who he was, like outspoken about his faith, or who he was. But it was about the year 0 or 1 AD, which stands for Anno Domini, not after death. There's, people BC and AD. So Jesus was born right between BC and AD. Like, it's pretty incredible. And we've proved that he existed in about 32 years of age. got killed. Yeah, and then more to come on that in Matthew.